How many times have you heard this? It's not my fault, it's my hormones. Or the classic one is your metabolism slows down when you get into your 30s, your 40s, your 50s. There's actually no research to show that your metabolism slows down. Yes, certainly as you get through into your 30s, into your 40s, there is definitely a change in the hormones in terms of progesterone, estrogen levels change, which can definitely affect your muscle mass. There is a change. However, your metabolism doesn't change. It's actually all to do with lifestyle. In this video today, I'm going to share with you the exact process I did with a lady who was 45 years old going through perimenopause, and her name is Janet. Janet came to me because she was so sick and tired of dieting. Tried the whole slimming world, the keto and all this, which is great in the short term. But what happens, and what I tend to see, it's like a pattern, is that they lose the weight initially, but to actually keep the weight off sustainably doesn't happen. And what tends to happen, and it's so frustrating, is that they will lose the weight and then for a period of time plateau, and then as soon as they stop, for example, the products from Slimming World, or stop the keto diet and eat carbs again, what happens? They actually put on the weight. And it's so frustrating because all that time they spent losing the weight through restricting, through calorie controlled diets, and through being pretty joyless has actually been all for what? For nothing, for a small moment in time. So I'm going to share that exact process with you. Before I do, welcome to my channel. My name is Nika, and I am the founder of True Self Mastery, where I help females going through hormonal changes, helping them either with fat loss, helping them improve their skin acne. I work with a lot of ladies who suffer from severe bloating, gut microbiome issues, all of these spectrum of symptoms that can come to fruition when you're going through hormonal change. I speak from personal experience. I suffered with severe painful periods to a point where I was bedridden. They diagnosed me with type 1 PCOS, which is the inflammation phase. By the way, if you guys want to know more about PCOS, let me know, because it's actually 4 types and I can do a complete video on that. Just comment below and I will make sure that I get that out there. I suffered with these symptoms for so many years of my life, over 10 years. And I'm so happy to say, through these lifestyle strategies that I'm going to teach you today for free, I am painless. So month 10 now of pain-free periods, and it feels good. Before I get started, I just want to show you this because I'm actually in Africa, in Cape Town at the moment, and I have to show you this view. So excuse the slight movement of the camera, but let me show you this because it's just beautiful. First of all, look at the views, and then wait for it. Dun-dun! So that over there, the pointy one. Oh, okay, that is Lion's Head. And then for those of you that want to see Table Mountain, oh my God, isn't she a beaut? I'm making the most of these views because they are just to die for. So let's get started. As I promised, I'm going to share the exact process that I did. So I've actually got some notes as well, because these are some of the symptoms that Janet suffered with, being a 45-year-old lady going through perimenopause. Now, ladies, perimenopause, sometimes if you go to the doctors and you're in those early stages, the blood results come back and they can look normal. But let's say you're suffering with night sweats or your brain fog, and you're saying to yourself, well, my hormones on the book say it's normal, but I'm feeling different. Please listen to your body, listen to your symptoms, because there is an array, and the timeline of when perimenopause actually starts and how long it lasts is very much individual to you, okay? Which makes it quite hard in one sense, but at the same time, please don't ignore your symptoms. So Janet came to me because she was struggling with these symptoms: night sweats. She was gaining belly fat to the point where she was like, Slimming World isn't working. I am actually gaining weight. She was snacking and eating less and less food because she was in a calorie deficit, trying to lose this weight, but it just wasn't happening. She also noticed in the last 6 months that she was starting to lose her memory. So nothing like dementia, but we call it brain fog, where she just would walk into a room and she'd be like, what am I doing here? Okay, so another sign of a hormonal imbalance. So first thing when Janet came to me, I looked at her lifestyle. And this is why I love doing what I do. I work one-to-one with my clients because I look at your lifestyle. There is no point me giving you generic advice and saying to you, this one program will suit you and it's the same program for everyone, because that doesn't work anymore. So I work with my ladies one-to-one. They personally communicate with me, and this makes sure that I can be there for them every day or every week that they need me. So first of all, I looked at her lifestyle. We just observed her habits. So we understood, okay, what kind of a person is Janet? And from that, we recognized that for starters, she told me she wasn't eating a lot. When we looked at how much she was actually snacking throughout the day, it actually tallied up to quite a lot of calories. Second of all, she would wake up with these night sweats, or she'd wake up and the bed would be just damp. And she was like, this is getting worse. I'm not getting enough sleep. And I know how important sleep is for rest, recovery, restoration. But how can you try and get optimal sleep if your hormones are changing? The other thing that we identified from her diary was that she was waking up not only with the night sweats, but with joint pain in the morning. So for her, it was lower back pain and hip pain, which, by the way, is again another sign of hormonal imbalances, these joint pains. So once we identified her personal life and exactly where she's struggling with, or what she currently does on a daily basis, we then went straight into nutrition. I do not believe in restricting my ladies, because by the time they come to me, they are fed up of diets. They are sick of meal plans. They just want to know what to eat, how to eat, when they should eat to optimize their hormones. And that's what I do. That's what I give you. I tell you exactly how to do that and personalize it to you. How cool is that? I know, because it's worked for myself and I'm loving it. Enough of the cheese. Right. I helped her with her protein and I helped her with her fiber amount every single day. A lot of females are starving themselves, punishing themselves, and have this negative relationship with food, which means they actually don't end up eating enough of the fundamental whole foods, which are your protein, your fiber, and your carbs. Yes, I did say carbs. Okay. So with your protein, there is a daily amount for your age, weight, height, lifestyle, that once you know what that amount is, would seriously help you optimize your hormone function. Second thing is fiber. 25 grams of fiber a day at least, ladies. It is so fundamental for not only your gut microbiome, but for your hormonal function. Then we went deep dived into all of these hidden emulsifiers in seed oils in the foods that we think are healthy. By that, I mean those foods that say, oh, it's vegan, so it must be healthy for you. Nothing against the vegans, by the way. I'm just using this as an example. Another really common false advertising marketing ploy is when they say to you, it's natural, it's healthy. And then you look at the back and it's got natural flavors in it. So by the way, that's a top tip right there. If you read the back of the ingredients and it says natural flavors on it, put it down and walk away. I always say to myself, and from the research that I've done and the coaches that I have myself, if there's more than 10 ingredients on the back of that package, put it away. A general, really simple way of looking at this, and I call it the KISS theory, which is like, just keep it simple, silly. Okay, we try and overcomplicate things way too much. When we keep it simple, think about your foods that you eat to just be whole foods. So anything in a packet that has been processed or made in a lab or in some form of chemical environment is going to already have some hidden things in it to make it last for longer in a plastic bag. That's the easiest way to look at it. Okay, so we deep dived into emulsifiers and seed oils. After that, another big component of what I teach my ladies is movement. Okay, many females, especially if they're trying to lose weight, what do? Cardio. HIIT training. That's me doing HIIT training very badly. Boxing. They do some burpees, all the stuff where, listen, I'm laughing because I used to be the same. I was that girl in between my sets at the gym doing the weights. I'd get up and think, right, I'm not sweating. Let's do some boxing. Someone should have just slapped me. No, someone should have sat me down and explained why that is pointless. It's more detrimental to not only your form, but you're going to injure your joints. And the biggest thing with women, let's keep it in the perimenopause bracket, is you're losing your estrogen. Okay, now estrogen is a fantastic, she's a powerful hormone that when you are deficient in, and you start to notice the decline, you notice the change in your skin, the tonicity, you'll struggle to build muscle, things like that, and obviously also have clear cognitive function. So movement for me, for females any age, but let's talk about perimenopause, weight training, ditch the cardio, especially when you're going through the transition, because your body is already going through some stress. Okay, the brain is changing, right? You're disconnecting from your ovaries, you're losing your ability, well, your eggs are coming to this end basically. So when you then go and do extra stress of cardio, burpees, all these high intensity exercises, which, yes, quote unquote, make you lose weight or burn more calories, but at the expense of what? And actually, what I find is a lot of females I work with that are storing fat is because they have excess cortisol that's not being, we call it the stress cycle complete. It's not leaving the body, it's not coming down, it's constantly being produced because the body is in a sense of survival mode. So this leads into the final thing that we looked at with Janet, which was her brain gym. Now, the brain gym for me is basically your stress level. We live in a world, and you know this, where we are constantly distracted. Technology is flooding our brains. It's so easy to sit and scroll on Instagram, TikTok, and all these platforms. It is so easy to do that nowadays. I know I can catch myself just thinking, I'll just spend 2 minutes. An hour later, you've wasted your life scrolling through nonsense. And this is the amazing thing about things like AI. It can produce and it can help us with information and provide with information, but it's overloading us and it's overstimulating us. So when I look at the brain gym, and this was interesting with Janet going through the perimenopause, she come from a corporate background. So for her, being a lady on the go, having a to-do list, getting to the kids, sorting the food out, walking the dog, and working, she is a superwoman. Like, I just want to take some time out and commend you ladies who are living your life like this. Like, you guys are superwomen. However, the negative side of this is you can't keep going forever. And what happens is your clever body, and I'm calling her clever because she's beautiful, all right? You're beautiful. Your body is an absolute goddess. She is talking to you. So if you're storing fat around the heart area, around this area, which, let's face it, for a lot of females, it's the back fat, it's the belly fat, it's the thigh fat. Why does your body do that? Your body does that because it is protecting you. So it is trying to protect you by not putting the fat, the excess fat, the high cortisol around your heart. So it's just putting it into that visceral skin area, which we look at the mirror and go, oh, I'm fat, or I can see my fat rolls, or these cellulite, which is all actually your body saying to you, listen, there's too much of this certain amount of food, or there's too much of the stress. We need to change something because I'm now storing it as a protective mechanism. I just think that's amazing about the body. Okay, let's recap. I promised I'd keep this short. So with Janet, a lady who is going through her perimenopause, and she struggled to lose weight to the point where she was like, I'm going to just try this working with Unika because I have no other options. I've tried Slimming World, I've tried keto, it just doesn't work. It's you or nothing. And I said to her, do you know what, Janet, work with me for a one-to-one basis. I said to her, for 6 weeks. If you don't notice a difference in 6 weeks, I'll give you your money back. That's how confident I was in how this approach works. What did I do? Number one, we looked at her personal lifestyle to make it personal to her. Number two is I then looked at her nutrition in terms of protein, fiber, and cutting out seed oils and emulsifiers. Now, number 3, we looked at movement, ditch the cardio, bring up the weight training, bring the cortisol down. And number 3 was cortisol brain gym. I just put 4 things. Okay, there's 4 things we did, right? The personalization, the nutrition, the movement, and the brain gym. 4 things. Now, if you're sat there going, this is great, but will it work for me? Join me for a call. I'm offering a free call and I will give you as much value as I can. And if you want to work with me, we can discuss that as well. I'm here for you. If you have any questions, you know where I am. And thank you for listening and watching.